Alright, update on the 4.62 valve Capri swap. Today I salvaged or took off another Saab 900 turbo off my friend Brendan's parts car. I think you saw it in a previous video if you're a subscriber. Check the related videos maybe over there and you'll see it. But yeah, so here they are. It's kind of just welded onto the factory manifolds. They're a cast steel, so it should be okay, but I may run into issues later. But yeah, we got both of them on. What I did is I took the manifold from that side, flipped it over to that side, had to cut that one because the snout comes up and hits the sway bar mount. So yeah, so we got them in. They're slightly higher than the oil pan, so the drain back for them should be fine. I had to clock that one, so I got to mess with the wastegate. But it was just kind of a game of holding them in place and make them fit. I hate taking off turbo manifolds for the most part, so I didn't bother making it the exact same size as the inlet on the turbo, like most your T3 or T4 and T2 manifolds are, or flanges are. They're square style. You'll see on the turbo, but I figured this is a El Cheapo ghetto build, so we're building everything in-house that we can, or scrimping and saving to do the rest of it. So yeah, the turbos are mounted. Still got to do downpipes and intakes, but for filtering, the filter should just kind of either 90 degree in there, and that one goes straight off underneath. Let's see if we can have a look from underneath here. It's hard to see, but you can see the other one. It's just going to 90 degree. If you look, the Capri and the Fox bodies have a little ducting hole because the factory intake, I believe, went in there. So there's a lot of spots for a decent sized filter, and keeping them clean, because your worry when they're down that low is you're going to get covered in sand and water. So they'll just clog up instantly because our roads are pretty dirty here. But this came in the mail today. The brain of this whole operation, the megasquirt EFI with the expanded board, my 24-inch extended harness piece. So I'll just be adapting that to the factory ECU wiring, and then the relay board and the jumper cable to go from there. So it should be, the keys, can't forget those. Yeah, it should go relatively easy. It'll just be a thing of finding the pin out on that and then matching the wires to here. Megasquirt's pretty simple. This one can easily run this engine because it's a non-variable valve timing, 2 valve per cylinder, 2 cam, but one either side. No fancy bits in there. Just a 36:1 Hall effect sensor on the crank, and I think there's another sensor on the cam, but I don't think the megasquirt needs it. My original idea was to use this turbo, which is a GT3076R, and just run a single turbo. This would probably be really good for this engine because its flow rates are right on par, but you'd be running it at like 20 psi, and it would be right on the threshold of too much. There's your compressor map like that. We'd be right up here, so there wouldn't be much room for advancement, but I also don't want to spend a shit ton of money on injectors, and I think those are right below 300s, so with the 2 Saab turbos it should be pretty close, and I think these should be alright because this one was on the Saab 9000, which is a 2.3 liter, and it gives the engine a lot of bottom end, so it should be alright because, essentially you cut the engine in half. It's 2.3 liter because this is 4.6, and the flow rates are around the same on these heads. The Saab 4-valve head does flow a bit better, so this flows less, making the turbo maybe a little bit better. And this is a low revving engine, 6,000 RPM, well, not even that, 5,500, so, it should be fine. It should generate some extra power. The idea with a downpipe is this one's going to snake over, go around the crank, this one's going to go there, and then they should just kind of wide together, hopefully somewhat nicely. Yeah, so I'll keep you updated as the build goes. This is just a Mishimoto leaking rad that I use for fit up. So yeah, we'll see what we'll do for intercooler. I might not run one. I might just run water meth and say fuck it. but because I have a kit upstairs that I made, because all you need is a diaphragm style pump that can generate a lot of pressure and low flow, and the nozzles and stuff are pretty cheap to buy. Making a tank and some solenoids or relays to make it all work is really simple. So yeah, if there's any more you want in detail, definitely message down below and I'll try to get back to you. But yeah, there it is. We will carry on another day.